love it. All sports, double coverage.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. I hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce, and of course, it's the NFL special, so we can't do it without the great man Coop at Cardboard Cooper. How you going?
Can't complain. Alive and kicking. How we doing, boys?
Good, brother. Good. Back again. Missed you last week. Didn't get the week 2 out, but we'll go over a few games and then we'll look ahead to week.
Heart, Cooper. He cried for about a week.
No one said anything, man. No one said anything. The week just kind of went by, and then
that's all right, man.
He messaged me and he goes, "We're back for week 3," and I was like, "All right, word."
That's it. That means easy, it's business. It's business.
Got it, Stephen A. I'm there.
Yeah. So he got the call up. He said, we're going to lace him up this week. And he's fronted up to the camera, which is what we like to see. But a bit of an interesting start to the season. Obviously, we've had 2 weeks transpire, Doma. And, we're looking ahead to week 3. There's definitely one man that, I mentioned prior to jumping on here that I definitely want to talk about. And we'll mention it in a sec when we get to his game. But yeah, it's good to be back.
Definitely. So the rundown will be a bit different from the first episode. So the first episode, we pretty much gave like a bit of a preview of every team with Coop, and we did all that stuff. This time, we're just going to run through week 2 results. So last week's, pick a couple games that we thought were of interest, and then we'll get into this week's games, week 3, and just give a prediction on who we think wins and any other things, any news that has come up within the last couple of weeks. So let's go back to week 2. Do a bit of a rewind. We had Washington football team defeating the Giants 30-29. Patriots beating Jets 25-6. Broncos defeated Jags 23-13. Bills shut out my Dolphins 35-zip. 49ers beat the Eagles 17-11. Rams defeated Colts 27-24. Raiders beat the Steelers 26-17. Bengals lost to the Bears 2017. Browns beat Texans 31-21. Panthers beat Saints 26-7. Cardinals beat Vikings 34-33. Buccaneers beat Falcons 48-25. We had the Titans beating Coop's boys, the Seahawks 33-30. Cowboys beat Chargers 20-17. Chiefs beat Ravens. Ravens beat the Chiefs 36-35. And then we had the Packers defeating the Lions 35-17. I think Coop's just dropped out there. We'll wait for him to get back in. But Sauce, those were the results. Any of interest? You watched the Chiefs-Ravens game. You enjoyed that one. That was great.
Of course I did. My boy Lamar stepping up big time. It made some errors early and struggled, obviously trying to force the ball down the field, but you just seen how explosive he is, being able to run the ball, then being able to run those player options. They've got the double threat from the QB position. The man is an absolute gun. And I had a look at. I probably should have picked up another one of his rookie cards prior to the start of the season. There's one that I'm eyeing off, but I'm just at the point where it's like not to buy. Like now is not the time to buy the card. So yeah, look, good win by the Ravens. Obviously after their loss in week 1. Yeah, and then other than that, there was a few other games which were, notable. Obviously, the Seahawks choking against the Titans. They probably should have had that one wrapped up, and they fell away in the second half. Kyler Murray putting on an absolute show. We did mention, watch out. Their defense has improved a lot, which is good.
He's got those
Kyler
offensive
Murray
weapons too now.
And he's got the offensive weapons. So Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, I think they're $7 at the start of the season to win that division by the bookies. Tell you what, that's sneaky to, look, it's early days. He did start like this last year, so I'm not going to jump on it too early, but I just feel like the team has gotten better. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Yeah, and then
he's back.
He's back.
Oh,
So and then obviously the Steelers a rude awakening by getting beat by the Raiders, which is as I said, what do I expect from the Steelers? I think they're going to be one very inconsistent football team throughout this whole year. They're going to show moments where they're brilliant, and they're going to show moments or weeks where they just look like a rabble of a football side. And I feel like that's the Steelers this season, and I can't see them getting anywhere.
I think we will start with a game that we might go a bit in depth, and I'd like to hear. We'll start with Coop's boys, the Seahawks. Derrick Henry he had 41 touches in this game for 237 yards.
You were at that game, weren't you, Coop?
Yes, I was a season ticket holder over on this side.
Very nice.
Apologize to the double coverage family. My Wi-Fi is about as strong as McCaffrey's hamstring right now. But yes, I was at that game. I did have to watch the beatdown in overtime, and it was quite miserable, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yes, that sucked.
Anything you could have done differently, or you
here's the thing. Like, I don't want to like hog up too much airwaves with the Seahawks, but like there's a couple different opinions on this. Like, one is that the defense is just so sporadic, and there's not really enough organization outside of Bobby Wagner. The cornerbacks and Trey Flowers are heavily disorganized, and they don't really play great coverage. And we also have a safety who kind of blitzes like a linebacker half the game. And then there's another kind of half of Seattle and half of the city and half the fan base that thinks that, the schematics of Pete Carroll are kind of outdated and should have been tossed around, maybe 2-3 years ago after being bounced and out in the first round for like 5-6 consecutive years. And they think Pete maybe should have been gone. And then, another portion of the city thinks that, well, he's the only guy who ever delivered us a Super Bowl, so we owe him some form of loyalty, and that's understandable as well. But as far as having a definite answer for you, I have no idea at this point, dude. It's like almost such a detective case to watch. It's just you never know what's going to happen with those.
You are 1-1, so it is early days still, but I think it's just like Derrick Henry's a machine as well. So
he is, but like. When you're supposed to be a competitive team or a team that like all these magazines, ESPN, Sports Illustrated, they're like, yeah, Seahawks could be potential Super Bowl champions. Like, not Derrick Henry. No halfback should be getting 200 yards on you in any game. That's not a championship level defense. You know what I mean?
It's a fair call.
Yeah. You couldn't have said it better. I was about to say, you just can't allow that, man. Imagine you allowing against the better sides, allowing them to have 150 plus yards on the ground, let alone 200 plus. Like, you're gonna have no challenge to the play action against guys like Brady and guys against Mahomes and the better teams in the league, right? You're just gonna have no answers if they're
gonna roll you. Action. Steamroll you is what they're gonna do.
Yeah. I think we'll go through obviously we'll go through some of the other key games, but we'll go through our team matchups. And Saucy's gone the Jordan brand hat this week, not the Raiders hat. But he is a Colts fan, and you lost to the Rams.
How did you not stay loyal to the Raiders after their great start to the season? You've decided to rock Michael Jordan instead of
because they beat the Steelers, man. Come on, bro. Like, Vegas John over here with his Derek Carr cards.
Yeah, I'm dumping all my Derek Carr. I'm dumping it all.
Yeah, Jesus.
So your Colts, Saucy, your thoughts? You're 0-2.
Yeah, not a good start. And this is reminiscent of Colts. We always do this. We start off slow. We did this last year. Let's hope they can turn it around. The Rams look good with Stafford. You can't deny that. I mean, is he an upgrade from Goff? Probably. He probably is, man. Like, he was able to do something decent in Detroit when he had some weapons down there previously. But yeah, look, I'm still not sold on Wentz. I'm not sold on him. I mean, one pick didn't help that he got sacked 3 times. Probably have to protect him a bit better. And QBR 57.8. I mean, that's not great. It's really not that great.
Carson Wentz, call it now. What is Lockdown Lounge 21? Carson Wentz will not get the starting position back from Jacob Eason. Jacob Eason is going to be the Colts starter.
You like Jacob Eason. I seen you in one of the groups. You know, you were flirting around buying Jacob Eason cars. Don't tell me you bought
Jacob
some.
Eason is no. Football cars, they're too dangerous for me. Far too dangerous for the likes of a man like me. But Jacob Eason is going to be the starter for the Indianapolis Colts for the remainder of the season. Lockdown Lounge 21. Call it right now.
Is he not playing this week? Wentz?
Wentz is injured, I'm pretty sure.
Is he?
99% sure. Let me just pull up.
That has definitely flown over my radar, but Jesus, that's not good.
Yeah, who is questionable on the injury report.
Yeah, okay,
game time decision. He'll be a game time decision.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Jacob Eason is not he's not going to be sitting the bench anymore.
Well,
all right, here we go.
Interesting. Here we go. There's the prediction, ladies and gents. Coop said it. Jacob Eason is going to have to fight for his spot back. All it takes is Jacob Eason to just start throwing, dimes to Michael Pittman Jr. and Jonathan Taylor, and all of a sudden they start winning. And Wentz is not coming back, and it's going to be reminiscent of that Eagles season. And it's going to be Nick Foles versus Nick Foles and Jacob Eason. Really,
in 2 years, there's going to be a statue of Jacob Eason outside that stadium.
Imagine the Colts starting and they win the Super Bowl.
You fucking wait. The statues.
Imagine you win the Super Bowl with Eason, with Wentz as the backup.
Mate, if we just make the playoffs, we'll be happy, all right? Don't talk about no Super Bowl.
I mean, yeah, they got to make the playoffs first, obviously. But it's it's possible. I feel like just because Jacob Eason, he obviously hasn't had really any NFL starts, but I feel like people forget how highly ranked of a talent he was at the collegiate level. That, dude, Jacob Eason just needs a little practice, maybe a little guidance, and he could be NFL ready and probably at a really elite level. It's just another one of those kind of Josh Allen cases that, it could be, or Sam Darnold cases where, you get him in the right crowd, the right personnel, the dude could thrive.
You've got good personnel as well, Sauce, down there in Indy, and you've got a great front office, great organization. It's just probably just at the moment, like Coop's saying, it's the quarterback could be the problem.
That's true.
You never know. Eason could come in and you could flourish, and not for anything, we're not talking about your first 2 games. We're talking about the remaining 15.
I love when people come out and say, the quarterback, you just got to get that quarterback right. Does people will not understand is the most difficult position to get right at any ball club. They cycle through that many quarterbacks in the league. When you get a good one, you got to just stick it out with them. And Colts are yet to find a good one.
The saying is
since Andrew Luck, unfortunately,
over here. The saying is, I don't know if the saying is the same over in the States, but they say you can't polish a turd, but you can polish the turd if you've got a good quarterback. It makes a massive difference. You could have the worst team going around, but if you have the right quarterback, that will win you games off their back. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Kind of. I mean, there is something to be said for that too, because there's always an argument who's the GOAT of all GOATs, and people are like, well, it's Michael Jordan because Tom Brady doesn't have to play defense, but at the same time, Tom Brady also has.
Ooh, I like this. This is interesting. We're going Jordan.
I don't know. I feel like Tom Brady has also.
This is interesting.
The level that Tom Brady brings his teammates to on the field has also aspired his defense to probably play at such a high level that it probably almost counts for playing defense, which is such a crazy theory, but it. And then I'm not saying that it even counts or it's remotely comparable to actually playing defense like Michael Jordan, but it's it's something to be said, like you said, for being such an elite player on the field around people who are maybe not the same caliber player as you, that you can bring them to that level and that standard and create a whole new ball club, man.
It's true. All right, let's move on to a quick one. It's just Bill shutting out the Dolphins, my mob, so we've got to cover how bad my team is. And it's funny during the week. I know Tua got crunched and had to get taken off.
Looks like the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Let's be honest.
So, well, I reckon it was just our our O-line saying, we'll just let him waltz in, get him injured, and then we don't have to use him anymore. Get Deshaun Watson in,
Actually,
like
you know
you
what?
said, Koo, like a bit later in the season. I genuinely reckon our team is great. Our defense is unbelievable. It kept us in games last season and it was like the definitive factor of why we were competitive and were able to win some crucial games. Funny in one of our group chats, someone posted it to a card, and I was just a smart ass and just said, "Oh, I don't collect backup quarterbacks."
Dude, yeah, bro. I mean, like that's I stay by that. I said that in the previous lockdown lounge. I just feel like the trajectory of Tua's career is going to eventually be a backup quarterback, and be it they make a move, the Dolphins make a move for Deshaun or another quarterback of a higher caliber player. I think it's going to happen. But the Bills game, I actually thought that, as much as the Dolphins offense was practically non-existent, I thought it actually was like a statement game for the Bills, who kind of got rolled by the Steelers in their first game out. It was kind of like a statement to say, okay, we're not going to just be this team that's going to get washed, or we're not just a one season wonder and performed well the season prior. So like, I thought it was a statement game for the Bills, and I think it was good that they came out and kind of put the hammer down on you guys. But I'm also hoping that you guys win the division. So
it's going to be tough. It's going to be so hard. The quarterback position is the issue. It really is. We've got players now, like getting Waddle and stuff like that, and is it Gazicki? I don't mind him. Like, we've got offensive players. Our defense is fantastic.
The defense highlight of Miami.
It's the quarterback is the problem. The kid can't really throw. I don't know. I'm not even going to bother. I thought he was the best like thing to happen to Miami. I was all for him playing over Fitzpatrick, because you've got to try out your rookie QB. We had no. In terms of last season, I wanted to see him because I want to know what we got. And then I did see it, and I wasn't very confident on it. And I genuinely thought when Deshaun Watson came up in the offseason, like you said, though, I didn't like the legalities behind all the things that were happening to him. We probably couldn't pick him up, but he was definitely the target. That's the guy we wanted. I think he was the guy we wanted, even if all that stuff didn't come out, all those allegations. Like, that's the guy we were actually aiming to go for, because we got that sample size for Tua, and the organization went, we've actually made a big mistake here in the draft. Yeah, we have stuffed up big time. Yeah, but in saying that, they could have drafted a QB potentially,
or traded for one.
Traded for one. But I think the Deshaun Watson off-field stuff like put a bit of a barrier in the way of getting him into Miami for the start of this season. But I genuinely reckon he would have started week 1. If he had no issues off the field, he would have started week 1 for Miami. We would have traded for him 100%.
Oh, I think. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's actually gonna. I still stand. I think I said it last one too. I think he's gonna be there next year.
Honestly, I hope it does happen, and not for anything. Don't take that. People listening, I understand. Don't take that as Dom doesn't care what he does off the field. He's a dickhead off the field. Yeah, and whatever happens to him, happens to him. Yeah, and it could backfire on us because we might get him in, and then he gets found guilty, and then he's out of the league, and then we're in square one again. But I'm not going to knock him as a player. What he is as a person is what he is as a person, but as a player, he's a gun.
It's kind of like, like when Mike Vick committed all those crimes, not comparing, animal abuse to sexual assault, but when Michael Vick committed all those crimes and was kind of removed from the league for a period of time, 1-2 years, when he came back, it's not like people were not going to not sign him just because of what he had done.
Correct.
People still knew what he could do as a player, and if that was going to be portrayed in any way on the field, people were going to take that opportunity as a club.
Definitely. Maddie's in here as well, watching. How you going, Maddie?
Lamble.
There you go. NFL just reinstated Josh Gordon. Is he getting picked up?
Shit. If he can stop smoking weed for one day, Matt. Fuck, man. The dude's been
Stay off the weed,
Stay off
man.
weed, man. Like, dude, that dude is. I think it's 5 marijuana violations.
Yeah, man.
It's some crazy. Yeah. The thing too is it's not even like performance enhancing drugs or like some crazy. It's literally weed every time. Like just chill out and don't smoke weed for like 90 days so you can pass your test. It's like it's unbelievable, bro. The opportunity this guy could have had or maybe has now.
Have a bit of hookah like Luca.
Yeah, Josh Gordon. Can we get like a Hookah Doncic type name for Josh Gordon?
Yeah. We'll come up with something.
Yeah, someone in the comments.
Ganja Gordon. That's what we'll call him.
Ganja Gordon. Hey, there it is.
Here we go. Adam's in as well, watching the replay of the Panthers-Texans game. As I listen to you guys, Sam Darnold is killing it. And on that, we will move to week 3. We'll move into it and we'll cover the first game that has already happened in week 3. And it was the Panthers at the Texans, and they beat them 24-9. And the Panthers started the season 3-0. The best start Sam Darnold's ever had. He's putting up career numbers. Thoughts, Jens, thoughts.
Sam Darnold is finally getting to be what he was supposed to be if the New York Jets were a functional organization. It is very, very good because otherwise the talent would just be wasted, or he becomes, kind of like I think I semi-mentioned this on the last Lockdown Lounge, like, or you run the risk of becoming a Andrew Luck and having no offensive line, no organization that takes care of you, and your body takes such a beating that you retire by the time you're 31, 32. And so it's cool, man. It's cool to see that he's got an offensive line. He's got a running back he can trust. Well, I don't know if he can trust him because he can't stay healthy. He really seems to be injured all the time.
You can trust him. You just can't trust his body.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. He just can't stay healthy, which is the biggest problem. And but other than that, dude, I love to see it, man. I love to see it. Like I said, I had a list last time of quarterbacks that were on my watch list. Darnold was on them, and Darnold is a good buy, man. Darnold's a good buy.
I'm not going to dispute that at all. I thought he was a good buy as well. He was highly scouted coming out of college. He obviously had a few turnover issues coming out of USC. I'm pretty sure he was USC. And then obviously that was in the second half of that college career, and they still thought he was the best QB in that draft. He obviously came out with Lamar and Baker. I think Lamar probably is the best so far, but in saying that, it's just like he had all this potential, and not for anything, understand Mayfield went into the Browns and everyone said, oh yeah, he's going to get wasted. It's been the other way around because they spent money and they've got him all these weapons. And we can talk about the Browns a bit later on, but he's been carried in the first 2 weeks because of how good his weapons are. He's a decent QB. He's not terrible, but you said 2 weeks ago, his trajectory on getting better is a lot longer than he's not going to just pop overnight. He has to literally work at it. But I think Darnold, as you said, Coop, most dysfunctional organization in the NFL with one of the most dysfunctional teams on the pitch. And not for anything, for him to actually walk away out of the Jets and actually say, oh, I actually won a couple games as the starting QB for the Jets, that's like winning a Super Bowl, in my opinion, because that seems horrendous.
The saddest thing is if you're like a Jets fan, which a lot of people over in New York are, and this is like, here's what's said, and it's going to be like blasphemy that I say this if you're a Jets fan. And if I said this and you're listening and you're a Jets fan and you heard me say this, I would expect that you call it blasphemy. So I totally get it. But like now, everyone who's not a Jets fan watching the New York Jets organization is sitting there rooting for Zach Wilson not to succeed on the New York Jets, but to get out of New York, just like Sam Darnold did. everyone is hoping that Zach Wilson can get his shit and get out. You're like the ex-girlfriend that everybody knows and needs to leave. Like that's what everyone's hoping for with Zach Wilson now. And it's kind of a bummer that's what the New York Jets are.
It's pretty bad. I will bring up here Sammy Darnold's PSA 10 prison base. And this is the 6-month graph, right? So it's obviously down from then. But the interesting thing is, obviously, the season's only been going 2 weeks. So you go have a look at the 2-week graph, and it's actually up 24%. So, I mean, people have been taking notice. We've got a couple of sales up around the 170 mark. Whereas if you just went back a month ago, maybe you're picking up for 120. You go back even a few more months. The price really hasn't moved too much, but that last 2 weeks is an interesting one. I mean, obviously everything was way higher back then. Here we go. If you're picking him up back when he was at the Jets, $60, $65 going to get you the base. I'm just looking at that because it's got the most data reference points. There is a few reference points on the silver, which we can have a look at. But I think it's interesting.
I think he jumps a fair bit in terms of value if they go 4-0 and they beat the Cowboys next week, because he's going to be playing without McCaffrey. So if you can win a game without McCaffrey, a lot of people saying like he's got McCaffrey, it's a bit of a bailout, but I don't understand. He's still got to throw the ball and still has to hit the target. And he's been pretty good in the first 3 weeks, if you ask me. Like, I understand McCaffrey's a beast.
He's been a lot. He's been really good, actually. Like, I mean, if you look at his first 2 years, his stats over those first 2 years, I mean, his touchdown to interception ratio is almost a 1-to-1. And then his career quarterback rating is like his QBR is around an 89. His first 2 games or 3 games through here, his QBR is like a 102 or a 100, which is like up there for what the top 5 quarterbacks usually rank in. So that's actually considered it. No one wants to say it, but that's fucking elite. Like
it was funny because they showed like all those stats during the game on Thursday night, so Friday here for us, and I pissed myself laughing because like Joe Buck and Troy Aikman were like, "Oh, it's only early days. Time will tell if you can maintain these stats." And I'm thinking to myself, "Yeah, he might not maintain the 102 QBR,
right,
but he's probably going to win. He won as many games as what he won in New York. I'm pretty sure. I think he only won 3 games in New York.
Yeah,
he's won 3 games already at the Panthers. So it just shows already it's the organization." And I'm with you.
100%.
I feel sorry for Zach Wilson, kids, because he has talent. Yeah, he probably wasn't the best QB out of that draft, but people said that he can turn into becoming the best QB into that draft if he falls into the right situation. And I think it's honestly just identical to Darnold. He's fallen into the wrong situation.
Jets dead end for any upcoming quarterback. The Jets is a dead end.
Threw 4 picks last week as well. He got destroyed. 4 picks. He was getting sacked like crazy. It was no good. Anything else? Saucy, any final words on this one? Matty's just said in the thing, he said, teams or QBs flourish the season after getting rid of Adam Gase. Look it up from college to NFL. It's 100% true.
Matty Campbell with the facts.
So let's go through the games for this week. So for Sunday Night Football and then Monday Night Football, we'll go through each game and just give a quick tip on who we think is going to win. And we're starting with the first game here is Colts at Titans. I'm going Titans in this one.
Colts at Titans. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Titans, even though I don't think they're going to run the ball as effectively as they did against my Seahawks. I'm still going to say that Derrick Henry and the Tannehill battery come out on top.
Saucy, who you got? You picking your mob?
Yeah, look, I have no confidence, but yeah, I think the Titans are going to win, but I'll go with the Colts. I'll go with the Colts, mainly just because surely we're going to win a game sooner or later. Maybe Wentz being gone will actually help us. So,
optimistic fan I've ever met in my life.
Jacob Eason to the moon.
To the moon.
There we go. Next up, we got the 0-2 Falcons at the 0-2 Giants.
Oof. That's actually going to be
Matty Ice.
pretty
Matty
close.
Ice.
You know
Matty
what,
Ice
though?
cold.
The Matty Ice train, I'm going to hop on board that one because Matty Ice actually almost took down Tampa Bay until he decided to, just bring out the extra sauce late in the game and light him up and drop 45. But so I'm going to go with Matt Ryan and the Falcons taking on that game.
I'm going to go with the Giants. I just want him to win a game. I really feel sorry for Daniel Jones. I reckon he's not that bad of a QB. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Both New York teams suck. Why?
Around like 2015, 16, around there.
It's just funny. Like New York is like the mecca of sport, pretty much. A lot of people say in terms of like basketball, NFL, and not for anything. All their teams are trash except for Brooklyn at the moment. The Nets. The Yankees went on a 13-game winning streak, and then they lost like 12 in a row in the baseball.
Well, the Yankees are about to make the playoffs.
So they are going to make it. Okay.
Well, it's going to come down to like the last 2-3 games of the season. It's going to be very close. So it's funny. It's funny. So, but the Yankees actually have a good record. They're a decent ball team. The Knicks are have been shit for years and are now getting progressively better. But I know exactly what you're saying. For some reason, like New York is like the mecca of America, and all the major sports teams there, for the most part, are kind of dog shit.
Yeah, they're no good. Then we got Chargers at Chiefs. Both teams 1-1.
Chargers, Chiefs. I'm gonna throw this out there and just say that Mahomes loses back-to-back games.
Ooh.
And Justin Herbert comes out with the light show. And I'm going to take the Chargers, man.
Nice. I'm going Chiefs. Saucy, who you got in this one?
Cardinals, Chiefs.
Chargers, Chiefs.
Chargers, Chiefs. Oh, this is going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. The young up-and-comer, obviously both young quarterbacks, but I mean, Mahomes is on another level. I expect the Chiefs to bounce back. After last week. After my boy Lamar, you know what I mean? Just show Mahomes how it's done, baby. My boy Lamar, here he is in the vanity slab.
He played a dog shit game. Don't even.
Saucy's like, he's the man. And we're going to go to Saucy's other boy. Saucy's got heaps of boys in the NFL. His next one is Joey B at the Bengals taking on the Steelers in Pittsburgh. I'm going Bengals. I'm taking them. Stuff the Steelers. They're trash.
Yeah. Look, I'll go second. I'll let Coop follow up last. But look, as much as I love Joey B, I think the Steelers will bounce back. At home,
not going to win this game, but I'm going.
I don't think he's going to win this game.
I want pressure on Big Ben. That's what I want.
I think this is going to be a little dependent on a couple factors. Just because, as far as I know, the current status on Roethlisberger is that he's got a strained pectoral muscle from a tackle that he took in the last game. So if Roethlisberger doesn't start, I want Burrow, and I want the spread or the money line. Take the spread or the money line, which is, I know, contradictory advice, but either one. Take the spread or the money line for the Bengals. And then if Roethlisberger starts, I'm kind of with you. I don't think that Joe Burrow is going to get by TJ Watt and the Steelers defense front four.
Next, Bears at Browns.
Bears at Browns. Oof. You want to go first, Dama?
Browns. Oh, actually, is Baker Mayfield even going to play? Apparently, he was injured. His shoulder popped out and popped back in last week.
Ooh, he's questionable too. That's right.
Who's their backup there?
Let's find out.
Is it Deshaun Kaiser still? No,
Case Keenum.
Is it Case Keenum?
Is it?
No way.
They got Nick Mullins and Case Keenum.
Case Keenum is literally Baker Mayfield. They're the exact same QB.
Yeah, it's Casey Keenum.
I reckon
It is.
I'm going with the Browns. You know what's going to be funny? Case Keenum could potentially just show that the team is exactly the same without Baker. He's the same QB.
You know that even if Baker don't start, I'm so high on the Browns that I'm Browns to the moon, baby, to the moon.
So Browns and Sauce. You're going Browns.
Yeah, I think they'll have enough. Even if they if Baker doesn't start, I mean the bookies have got $1.27 favorites, man. Like you can't really go against that.
Next up, we have Ravens at Lions.
Ravens at Lions. Oof. Okay. Well, as I said in the last Lockdown Lounge, I think it's well-known fact by now that Jared Goff is certified hot garbage. So, with that being said, I am going to be taking Lamar Jackson, who, by the way, also can't throw a football sauce, and the Baltimore Ravens in this game as the favorites. That is my pick.
Nice. And then, Sauce. Sorry, apologies. Who do you go?
I'm going to go with the Ravens. Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going Ravens as well. Saints at Patriots. Winston coming off a fantastic second week, throwing 4 interceptions, I think it was, or 3 interceptions after throwing 5 TDs in week 1.
Yes. Jameis looked. If you're just joining us, Jameis looked like he was in prime midseason form. Threw 4 interceptions. It was gorgeous. Looked like that LASIK surgery kicked in just right. Yes, I imagine Jameis Winston to continue to do these things, to be honest. Initially, he was on my quarterback watch list, but after that second week, I don't believe that he's really learned pocket discipline, which is kind of what you need. It's kind of what Drew Brees was so great at, even though he couldn't hurl the ball 65, 70 yards like Jameis. He was really disciplined, and Jameis is really reckless. So I am going to take anybody but the Saints in this game.
I'm going Patriots. I'm going to stick with Mac Jones this week and Bill Belichick. Sauce?
The best
he's throwing the ball a lot, isn't he, Mac Jones? I mean, they're letting him.
That's good.
They're allowing him to let it fly. That is for sure. I mean, he's had 39 attempts against your boys in week 1, and then last week 30 attempts. So allowing him to let it fly. But this is a tough game. Surely this is just a toss of the coin game. Yeah, and I don't even know. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I mean, surely that week 1 performance against the Packers has to count for something. Like how can you go from that good of a performance to that worse of a performance? There has to be something in between. If you get something in between that, I think they have enough to win against the Pats.
Cardinals
at Jags. This is my guarantee of the week.
This is your
guarantee.
Guarantee. Okay.
Colin Murray's just going to waltz into Jacksonville and just destroy them.
Yeah, actually, here's the thing. I can't imagine any single member of the Jaguar defense chasing around Kyler Murray for 4 quarters and being successful about it. And I mean that sincerely. Like, Kyler Murray looks like he's playing Madden 21. And it's like it's really a privilege to watch someone play that kind of football. It's something else. So I'm actually with you. If there's anything that's a lock, it is that the Arizona Cardinals are going to go and spank the Jacksonville Jaguars and walk right home.
That's it, Saucy. You going with him?
Are you taking the handicap on that -8?
What is it? Oh, probably. I'll take absolutely everything on it.
I would take a -14, to be honest. Like,
okay,
two touchdowns.
Tease that. We'll tease that down to -6.5. I reckon. Tease that down to -6.5, and just back it into the Broncos to win, and we'll bump it up. I mean, they'll smash the Jets this week,
yeah,
for sure.
Well, we'll just give that tip. Broncos against Jets. I'm going Broncos. Sauce is going Broncos. Coop, you got Broncos?
Yeah, it's kind of like the Jameis Winston situation. I don't really see the Jets being functionable at this current time. So unless someone changes my mind.
Teddy Bridgewater is more than a serviceable quarterback, man.
100%.
Like I really feel you get him around like a good squad, he could do enough to win you playoff games. I think he's won playoff games before. I think when he was in Minnesota, from memory, he did all right there.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, there's look. I'll just say this: there's QBs getting starts in this league that are way worse than him.
100%.
Yep.
Washington at Bills. I think the Bills get it done. They just keep rolling.
Realistically, yeah, the Buffalo Bills are a much better team, but there's just something about that boy Taylor Heineke. I'm telling you, Taylor Heineke. I'm playing around. Like Taylor Heineke is probably not realistically going to get by the Buffalo defense, but I would love to see him do it. Because I love the fact that he was in college last year and just had to fucking skip his classes to play in the playoffs all of a sudden. But, I think the Bills are going to spank these guys pretty badly.
Yeah, I think so too. Next up, we've got my mob, Dolphins at Raiders, and probably with no tour. So I'm tipping the Dolphins.
I'm taking the Raiders. I'm sorry. And the Dolphins defense is good, but I think the Raiders are like, and I think everyone has been like, oh man, this year the Raiders are real. The Raiders have been real like the last 3 years and have just gotten unfortunate things happen. Like Derek Carr broke his leg 1 year and was out like the last games and their playoff push. Like, dude, the Raiders are a serious fucking team. And I think they might just steamroll a lot of opponents who
we're going to get killed. I'm just sticking by my mob this week, but we're going to get killed.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not going to be great, but I'm going with them. You got to stick by him. No tour, no worries.
Good for you. Sauce would take the hat off really quick.
He's going to put the Raiders hat back on. He's going to.
You take the Raiders. Come on, man. Derek Carr's been lighting it up. The Dolphins suck. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter who they're putting in there. I mean, it's probably going to help that they bench Tua. It's going to help them for sure. Because Tua, like, I wouldn't be surprised. You say he's a backup quarterback. Man, I would not be surprised this guy within like 3-4 years is out of the league. I'll be honest.
Either he's going to be out of the league or he's going to turn into like the next Russell Wilson. Who knows? You just don't know.
No. He's going to be in the XFL, man. He's going to be in the XFL. He's going to the Canadian Football League, all right?
Don't disrespect Russ like that. Don't disrespect Russ like that, fam. Russell can throw the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't even know what's coming off his arm.
He can't even move. He can't even.
It just shows you how masked, some of the quarterbacks can be coming out of college, man. Like it just shows you how masked they can be. Like that Alabama, obviously Nick Saban down there played in an amazing system, and he was masked, especially with that defense and the running power that they had behind him. And then he comes to the big leagues, gets found out quick smart. But definitely taking the Raiders. The Raiders going 3-0, the Raiders, and they are flying.
They are flying. Next up, we've got Seahawks at Vikings. Your mob, Coop.
Seahawks. Yeah, I got the Hawks, baby. I got the Hawks. We're gonna need to get a couple stops though. We're gonna need because that offense is pretty high performing. Kirk Cousins, TLN, Dalvin Cook. That offense is no joke. So we're gonna need a couple stops, which we failed to get in the Tennessee game. But if we can get those, hopefully we can straighten up a little bit of the offense too. Because we were looking a little bit flat at times, failing to convert some third downs. But Hawks, 2-1, baby.
I'm going Hawks. So also you're going to go with your boy, Cousins?
This man right here is going to get the W.
You like that?
All right.
Stop it.
Kirk Cousins going to come out here and he's going to get the Vikings' first W of
I
the season against the Hawks. All right.
Do
They've been not
you
so
know the
bad.
stats?
They were
Do you know
unlucky
the
last week.
stats? Do you know the stats when Seattle comes to Minnesota? Seattle's unbeaten in Minnesota.
There we go. Well, this is the
We-
week that they are going to get beaten.
We're notorious for going over to the Midwest, bending the Vikings over, spanking, and flying back home. That's what we do.
All
I
right.
love it. Bit of a debate.
Well,
but Saucy's
let's
got-
wait. Let's wait and see Kirk Cousins. I mean, I want the Seahawks to win because I like Russell Wilson. I like Russell Wilson, but I think not this week, man. I think Kirk Cousins
We
is
shall
going to
wait.
do enough.
I'm waiting and seeing. I got my
I'll tell
nail
you-
filer. I'm watching Arsenal. I'm watching the Seahawks. I'm watching it all unfold.
I
My
tell you
life
what,
going good.
I tell you what, you'd probably want to stop Dalvin Cook getting them yards on the ground and not allowing what happened against Tennessee and
Yeah, he makes
against
a fair
Derrick
point
Henry.
there. That's
So,
a fair point.
I mean, Dalvin Cook he's a pretty good running back. He's pretty good. So
Jamal Adams got it under control this time. We got it. We got it this
All right.
time for sure. This time for sure.
All right, let's move on.
Bring that Raiders hat next week.
Another two undefeated teams, Buccaneers at Rams.
Buccaneers at Rams. Yeah, I think there is going to be a chip on Sean McVay's shoulders, and I think the Rams are going to take down the Bucs, and which is such a bold claim, and it's only bold because at this point it's like, why, like what in God's name could entice you to bet against Thomas Edward Patrick Brady III, the man, the GOAT? But like, I feel like the Rams kind of have a vengeance pattern for Mr. Brady since the Super Bowl, which they lost like 12-9 or 13-9, some score like that, just 2-3 years ago. And I think they're gonna pull it out. I think they're gonna win. Stafford is the improvement they needed. They got rid of the dog shit Jared Goff, and they're on to better things.
Saucy, who have you got in this one? You going the GOAT?
Yeah, no, this is going to be a good game. Bucks, Rams.
Game.
Yeah, I mean, we did say that he just mentioned they got rid of Jared Goff, and I won't repeat the words that he just uttered. But tell us how you really feel, Coop. I feel the same. Look, I'm not going to say I feel the exact same way. Jared Goff is below average quarterback, definitely an upgrade here, and I mean, I feel with the home crowd they could have enough to get the win over the Buccaneers and give them their first loss of the season. Look, but also I really don't know. I mean, the bookies have got Tampa Bay $1.80 favorites to the Rams $2. So I mean, what does that tell you? They're favoring the Bucks slightly, being on the road. I'll take the home dog. I'll take the home dog. Give me the spread. Give me the points. I think it might even be like +2.
Going with the Rams.
So I'm going to go the Rams, man. I reckon the Rams can get
Yes, sir.
it's one. They're giving us 1 point.
Yes,
They're giving us 1 point.
Listen, shaky in week 1 against the Chiefs. They were pretty average against the Falcons last week until Brady went nuts. This is the statement game, and I reckon Brady and the Bucks get it done, and they probably get it done convincingly against the Rams. I reckon they'll walk into SoFi and make a statement, and then it sets literally everyone in the league into motion that holy crap, they were just started really slow. We thought they were going to be old and aging, but
so I think this is the week where the Rams iron it out, and Ramsey takes a pick 6 to the house. And
honestly, they could. Their team's stacked, man. They got a great side, the Rams. Like obviously Aaron Donald in there, and yeah, they got Ramsey as well, like you said. So I don't know. I just reckon they make a statement this week because they've been pretty slow and pretty rusty. I think the Bucks, and they got away with it in week 1 by no doubt about it. They got away with it in week 1, and they were pretty good. Last week, you could see that it was a much more improved side. And obviously it was close, and Matty Ice was playing pretty well. And then Brady just said, "Nah, this is I'm sick of playing a close game here. Let's just finish it." And he just ended the Falcons pretty quickly. But I just think that the longer that they progress, the better that they're going to become. Obviously, that's barring injury. If they can stay healthy, they probably win the Super Bowl again. Let's be honest. Their team is very good.
I think
very,
they're
very good.
Totally stacked.
So, okay, next one. This is going to be interesting. And then I can't wait for the last game that we cover. I can't wait for Coop. But Packers at 49ers.
Packers at Niners. Oh, man, this is tough, dude. I think, everyone is super obsessed on the Rams and the Bucs game and it being a potential Super Bowl matchup. I think people are really neglecting how talented the 49ers are and how they're maybe even a bigger potential division winner than the Rams. This one's a toss-up to me, a total toss-up. It's going to be entirely based on if the running game and Aaron Jones for the Packers is efficient. If it's not, then I think the Packers lose, and they lose rather convincingly. If it is and it's flowing and Aaron Rodgers can throw the ball and trust Aaron Jones in the running game, then I think it's going to be a dub for the Packers.
I like it. I'm sticking with San Francisco. I like San Francisco. Jimmy G. Yeah. It's not that good, but hopefully.
Touched up week one, the Packers. Touched up week one. Week two, obviously, they beat the Lions, which is that's pretty much a bye. Let's be honest.
They didn't get touched up. They just slow start.
Slow start, all right. But I think this is going to be a very, very tough contest. San Francisco, obviously, troubled by a lot of injuries last season. So, weren't able to get their best team on the park most of the weeks. And I think, they've started pretty well. And I think they'll continue this week and get the win over the Packers. It's going to be a close game. I think this one's going to be, definitely within like maybe a field goal, something like that. But it's going to come down to the 49ers defense and holding Aaron Rodgers in the passing game and trying to force them to run the ball, not giving them those little out passes and slant routes. But overall, I think Jimmy G just doesn't make mistakes. He's been really good in that aspect, just sort of keeping the ball under control. And if they can do that, I think they'll have enough to just continually move the chains down the park. Because that Packers defense, I'll tell you what, I'm not scared of that defense. Not scared of it at all. So
it's okay. It's not bad.
It's not bad, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's like championship winning defense.
I think it is. I think the thing about it is though is it's just there's not a big name on it, right? There's not a Aaron Donald or a Jalen Ramsey or a there's not a name that like stands out to you that's like, oh, that's the guy. Like it's just a bunch of average dudes who happen to tackle really well and get to the ball fast and they're super efficient. So like I don't know. It can be I should say it not that it is a championship winning defense. It can be a championship winning defense.
You've got to see if they can get some leaders out there, because at the end of the day, communication, leaders on the field is what's going to put you in good stead to, keep your guys accountable on that defensive side of the ball, which will then enable you to enhance your defensive play. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can build that, cohesion in that unit going through the rest of this season.
It'd be a ripping game, but this is the one we've been waiting for all week. Monday Night Football. We're waiting for Coop's take. It's Cooper's Cowboys take. It is Eagles at Cowboys to finish off week 3. I think Sauce and I will go first, and then we'll throw it to Cooper. I'm going Cowboys. I'm going to make mine quick because I just want to hear what Cooper has to say.
I'm going Cowboys as well. I'm impressed with what Dak's been able to do recently. So look, we'll see what Cooper has to say. But I think they'll have too much for Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is being decent. I I'm probably going to have to agree with the fact that the organization made the right move and moving off, obviously, Wentz and going all in on Jalen Hurts. He looks like a player. But let's see what Coop has to say. I'm going Eagles by a field goal.
Here we go.
Eagles all day, baby.
I mean,
No
not
question.
Eagles.
Eagles.
Cowboys
are just, they'll never be there, man. They'll never be there. Ever.
It was funny.
Ever.
You know what's funny? I was watching
big divisional matchup. This one, big.
I was watching Panthers Texans, and my wife sat down. She doesn't really watch football. The first thing that happened was Joe Buck and Aikman came up, and she knows that I got an Aikman rookie card. So she goes, "Oh, that's the guy that you bought his card." And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, who is he?" I go, "Oh, he's the last person to win Dallas a Super Bowl." That's literally what I said to her. I didn't say I didn't say he was a QB. I just said he was the last guy that won Dallas a Super Bowl.
Facts. I mean, it's facts.
Straight out.
You didn't lie.
He doesn't. In my opinion, I reckon Troy Aikman doesn't get what he deserves in the hobby, as well as he was a gun. I know they had Jimmy Johnson there, but he was very, very good. Troy Aikman.
Not technically, good. You told the truth. So I mean,
no, yeah, it's all facts. Yeah,
not for anything.
Yeah, I love the Cowboys though. I just love watching them. It's just funny. It's funny every year. So.
All jokes aside, I kind of talked, or I said some comment about the Cowboys. Someone got upset last week. Fucking, it's still funny to me. Anyways, but seriously, in this game, the Cowboys are probably more positioned to win this game. Dak Prescott looks really good. The offense looks really good. When Amari Cooper's playing, they look really good. The defense is kind of questionable, but they just look way more efficient than the Eagles roster and schematics tend to do on the offensive side on the ball. So, yeah, realistically, I'd love to sit here and just shit talk the Cowboys because fuck the Dallas Cowboys. But the Cowboys will probably win that game on Monday night.
I think so.
So all in all, even though he really it baned him to give some praise to the Cowboys, he said Cowboys are going to win, and I think that too. I think they're going to win by a field goal. It should be a good game. I just hope it's not like we don't get a game on Monday Night Football, which is really out of that division, which is like the poo division of football. Let's be honest, it's the most average division. But I just hope that we get there we go. Cowboys suck, he says. I just hope we get a good game for Monday Night Football. Shootout.
So do I. So obviously a big week there. There's our picks. We'll have this podcast out on audio as well. We'll share that around so people can listen to it before Monday here in Australia and before Sunday over in the States. Very nice. We're all sorted. Any parting words? Anything in the hobby? NFL-wise? Anything? Buy Darnold. Keep buying this bloke. This guy's
man. I tell you
what.
Be
careful out there, I'm saying. Be careful out there. There he is.
CD Lamb.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, CD Lamb's a good buy, too. If you're actually...
Hey, that's numbered, Coop. That's numbered, all right? You're going to like that because it's numbered.
Oh, big baller, eh?
There he is.
Who? Oh, Aikman.
I got two of those.
Yeah, I try to find as much of a risk as it already is. Try to find some of these receivers who are maybe just rookie receivers coming onto the scene. I like Devontae Smith a lot. I like his cards quite a bit. He's balling out, and he is going to be playing the Cowboys. We all know the Cowboys are trash. It's probably a good time to buy his cards. I don't know. Sam Darnold, another great pick, but football's tough. It's so tough because it's a week-to-week basis thing too. So I don't want to get on here.
The old age philosophy in buying NFL cards is people just sort of stick to the QBs, which is. Yeah, it's the position that matters the most. We really thought that we'd see an uptick in some of the other positions, which we have. There has been. But yeah, just be mindful, guys, and just realize this early part of the season. Last year was like this, the point in the market where it was like really high. People were hyped, and then it fell off towards the end of the season, and picked up like a little bit towards the end with the guys that were really deep in the playoffs. So, decide what you want to do your research, go out there, use the link in the description to sign up to Cardladder and do a bit of research on their platform and go through and see what cards are trending at.
If you do want a Troy Aikman rookie, by the way, it's last sold. They're around about 65 to 75 USD for a PSA 9. It's funny how the last sold in a PSA 10 is 735 USD. 790, 835, 818. So I reckon that's not a bad buy. The PSA 9s got up to as much as 220 USD a card for a PSA 9 at one stage last season. So
yeah, actually, that's probably a good hold.
Yeah, so
if
I
you
probably should have sold one during that time. I should have.
I was gonna say too, another player worth holding right now too, if you're in the Chris Hodge realm and you have McCaffrey cards.
Yeah, man.
I know he's injured, but hold. Diamond hands, baby, diamond hands.
He's a gun. Hopefully his body can get right and he'll be all right for the rest of his career, to be honest. But yeah, he's a gun. And shout out to Chris as well, like you said. He's got a sick collection of McCaffrey. So
he does have a lot of McCaffrey cards, an unnecessary amount of McCaffrey cards.
Extremely unnecessary. He PCs him, he loves him. So that's good. He's actually a good player to PC, to be honest. So that's it. All done and dusted. Thanks again, Coop. Saucy, thank you. It's been myself, Sauce, and Coop. Keep living, loving, and breathing sport. Double coverage, NFL, special edition, Lockdown Lounge, and peace.
Peace. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.